Hey, what's up, my ninjas? Shinobi here with another Diablo 3 Reaper of Souls video for you. Little update video. They did put out a patch. I believe it's called patch 2.0.1 to V 2.0.0 yeah, they did a, this was a pretty big patch. They put out quite a lot of stuff. I'm going to put the link right down below for you because it is quite a bit of stuff that they added to it. So far, I've been playing the beta since I got into it, and a lot of us players that are in the beta and a lot of you guys are waiting for the big patch that comes out that's going to show us some, everything we are going to expect with Reaper of Souls. I feel like, and a lot of people feel like, there's still more stuff that they haven't shown us yet. Some things that are going to be really exciting, just make us go, wow, I can't wait to buy Reaper of Souls. I can't believe they put this new feature in and this and that. And if you were hoping that this was the patch for it, like I was, then you will be a little sad, because all they pretty much did in this patch, even though the patch is pretty huge, most of the stuff that they did was changing some abilities from each class and nerfing some stuff and buffing some stuff, just kind of balancing each class's abilities, some abilities that players don't typically use. I guess they want people to use those abilities, so they kind of buff some of those. They kind of nerf some of the other ones, like for Witch Doctor, they nerf Sacrifice, like the amount of damage that you do with Sacrifice. And also I put a video out recently showing you guys how to get 10 dogs in a 10 doggy spec, and they nerfed that as well too. You can't get 10 dogs anymore, even though I didn't see anything about it in the patch notes about getting those dogs. What Blizzard likes to do is a lot of these, sometimes they will hotfix stuff and they will nerf it or buff or nerf certain things in the game. We've seen this over the years in World of Warcraft. We've seen this in Diablo 3, since it came out, where they do these kind of like secret ninja buffs or nerfs to things. So when I look at a big patch like this, there are a lot of things in this patch, but they also did things that that weren't actually listed in the patch as well too. So that's why I've been playing a lot of Reaper of Souls lately. I'm about to start streaming pretty soon and show you guys, try and find some more things that maybe they did or didn't do. But did they add any new features to the patch? Like, what's the big thing about this patch that's, that separates it? It makes you go, wow, this is a pretty huge patch. They didn't really do very much. They did change some affixes on the monsters, like nerfing some damage, increasing the amount of time per tick. I feel like Plague isn't quite as strong right now. The Poison Enchanted feels like it's not as big of a radius too, like it's kind of a smaller bar if you've got to see Poison Enchanted before. Yeah, so just a lot of those things, just kind of fine-tuning some stuff in the patch, in the game, in the beta, getting it ready for the release, which is, less than 2 months away now. Well, no, it's about 2 months away at this point, just over 2 months away. And so, for me, how did I feel about this patch, and do I feel like, the game's going in the right direction? Well, I feel that the game will definitely be ready as far as bugs and stuff like that by the time it launches in March 25th. I feel like it's definitely going to be ready, but at the same time, as far as new features and things that are really going to make us want to play the game for a long time, that is something that the game is still lacking. I've talked about this in Endgame, with my Endgame video. I can link down below, or you can just go check it out in one of the videos that I did not too long ago. Players are really, hoping and waiting to get, a big, maybe it's ladders, or maybe it's PvP, or whatever the case may be. Whatever they come up with that's going to, make players want to play the game over and over and over and over again. This patch was definitely not that. Now, they could put out another patch before the game goes live. There is some time. But how I feel it's going to go is, I feel like that that they're pretty much just fine-tuning this stuff right now, and then like they did with Diablo 3, it was about 3 or 4 months after the game came out. Actually, it was about 4 or 5 months after the game came out. They came out with the, revamping the legendaries and the Paragon levels and things like that. Now, I'm pretty much expecting there to be a big patch a couple months into Reaper of Souls, but I feel like, personally for me, if Blizzard really wants to sell a lot of copies of Reaper of Souls, you need to announce this stuff like right now, because there are a lot of players out there that are, on the fence with, should I buy Reaper of Souls? I don't really like the direction the game went in Diablo 3. Should I buy Reaper of Souls? What am I looking forward to? So far, the game is fun. Like, don't get me wrong. I think it's a very fun game. I feel like the gameplay is, pretty much, where I would like it to be. They're fixing a lot of these bugs, a lot of these things that are wrong with the game. But we need stuff that is going to make us want to play the game for a long period of time. And maybe that'll be something that'll come out in the future. That's something I was hoping when I saw the patch came up. I was like, oh my god, is this going to be, the big patch where we get a lot of these cool things? And unfortunately, it really wasn't. It was just kind of fine-tuning stuff and all that. Now, I don't know how you guys feel about Diablo. Maybe you guys have played the beta, or maybe you guys have watched it on streams or on my stream or whatever. But what do you guys feel about, Reaper of Souls? How long do you seriously think that you would play Reaper of Souls in the current state of the game? If they don't come out with ladder, if they don't come out with PvP, if they don't come out with some kind of feature that's going to make us want to play this game for time and time and time, like months and years and, stuff like that. I mean, look at a game like Diablo 2. Diablo 2, people still play. And that's been out for so long because of ladders and because of all these cool things that you can do, which is something that has been lacking with Diablo 3. So, for me personally, people have asked me a lot, is Diablo 3 Reaper of Souls going to be the game of 2014 for you? Are you going to play it all year long and all that kind of stuff? Personally, I don't think so. I think I'm definitely going to play it when it comes out, and I'm definitely going to play it for probably at least 6 months, maybe even longer than that. But if nothing changes, if there's nothing else extra that comes out, there's only so much you can do in the game. I'm definitely going to get my money's worth with Reaper of Souls, but I feel like when I saw a patch like this, it just kind of reminded me that, Blizzard constantly is making changes to this and that, but what they're missing is the true, fun of the game, the stuff that people want to see in the game. They want to see new features. Like, the bounties are cool, and the rifts are cool, but it's only going to last for so long. So, give us some more stuff. And if you guys feel the same way, put it down in the comments. But like I said, go read the patch notes. I'm going to do a lot more testing on the beta servers and see what other kind of secret buffs and nerfs they did make to certain things. But all in all, in the end, they haven't really come out with any new features or anything that we can really just sink our teeth into and really just have a fun, engaging time and play for a long time. Diablo 3 Reaper of Souls feels like Diablo with a couple new extra things, couple new spells, couple new, just an add-on, which an expansion is supposed to be that. An expansion is not supposed to change the game as you know it. It's supposed to give you new things. But one new thing that they haven't given us is something that's going to make us want to play Diablo 3 for a long time. And I've been playing Diablo 3 since it came out. I only took a couple breaks from Diablo 3, and I feel like with Reaper of Souls, will I be able to do that again? I don't think so. I really don't, because it's the same game. It's like playing Diablo 3 for 4 or 5 years. I don't think there's anybody that has that kind of patience to do that. In the world. And I think for me personally, one of the reasons why I was able to play the game longer than most people in Diablo 3 was because I'm a YouTuber, so I made a lot of videos on stuff. I'm a streamer, so I streamed a lot of stuff, and that was very fun to do. It made me have a more enjoyable time playing Diablo 3. And also there was the auction house too, which I could find cool ways of making gold or selling things or coming up with cool gear specs and stuff like that. But with all those things, into consideration, with the auction house not being in the game, and a lot of these things, it's, you know, we're kind of limited on what we're going to be able to do in Reaper of Souls. Granted, is there more to do in Reaper of Souls than in Diablo 3? Definitely. But, you know, I feel like Blizzard, if you're going to put out a patch, and like a big patch like you just did, you know, just the other day, you need to give us some really good features. And I was kind of sad to look over this patch because all it was just, you know, changing a few things here and there. Even though the patch is a huge patch with tons of changes, it wasn't really anything that is going to get a lot of people excited for Reaper of Souls. So maybe there's going to be a big patch between now and the release, or maybe we have to wait a couple months after. But I feel like, you know, there's so many less people are going to buy the game unless they, you know, introduce or maybe tell us about some of the stuff that's coming in the future. Because right now, players are only seeing Diablo 3 with a couple extra features. What do you guys think in the comments down below? I'd really love to hear what you think. Did you think this patch was something that you were excited for? Do you feel, how long do you think you would play Reaper of Souls if you did pick up the game? Would you play for 3 months, 6 months? There's a lot of cool things you can do in the game with changing out legendaries and such, which I feel like legendary drop rates are really low right now. Which I think those definitely need to be upped as well too. You know, pretty much when you play Diablo 3, some of the most exciting things about it is when you get a really cool legendary. And if you play for 2, 3, 4 hours, especially when I'm streaming, I stream for 3, 4 hours like I did the other night with just Reaper of Souls, and I didn't get a single legendary, it kind of just makes you feel like, wow, that was a big waste of time. So, you know, if we at least had some other features and the legendaries didn't drop quite as often, then at least we're not wasting our time. At least we're progressing. But I made absolutely zero progression on my characters for playing for 5 hours the other night. And that's something that just shouldn't happen. You play games like World of Warcraft, you're always progressing. You're always doing things. You play games like, you name it, League of Legends, like all these games out there. The time that you put in, you're at least progressing towards a greater goal. You're at least doing something that, you know, makes you feel like your time wasn't wasted. But with the low drop chances and the limited features that we have in Reaper of Souls, I feel like a lot of players are going to be really upset about Reaper of Souls when the game does finally come out, unless there's some bigger things happening than these like little patches that you've been putting out. We need something more that's going to make us really want to play Reaper of Souls. So for me, if nothing else happens and it's just the same game with a couple extra features like from Diablo 3 and now into Reaper of Souls, like I said, I'd probably only be playing it for maybe 6-7 months, something like that, if that. And then you know, maybe looking into some other games as well too. There's a lot of big games coming out this year, and I heard on a website that Reaper of Souls is one of the most anticipated games of this year, which may be true, but I mean, I feel like it would be the most anticipated game of the year if they made some, you know, a little bit of changes that it's going to really make players want to play the game for a long time. You guys leave your comments down below. What should you think about the patch? You know, go through and read it in detail. I'm going to be streaming, so make sure you head over there, and I'm going to be looking more in depth into the patch and more in depth into the game, seeing, you know, cool ways of doing this or that or whatever. But, you know, as myself, a player that plays games a long time, I play every single day. As you guys play games all the time, you love this game, you love playing games all the time. That's why you're subscribed to a gaming YouTube channel. You know, do you feel like this is something you're going to be able to do for a long time? Because I feel like everybody is going to play. If they don't change anything, I feel like everyone's going to buy the game. They're going to play it for 2 or 3 months, and then they're going to quit. And maybe around that time, Blizzard will come out with, you know, some kind of patch or something that'll suck people back in. But that's not what they should be doing. Blizzard shouldn't be, you know, putting patches out just to hold on to people, just to say, oh, well, okay, we'll don't go anywhere. We got you. We'll come out with a patch for this or that. Give us all the great stuff right now. You know, if it's not fully finely tuned, that's fine with me. You know, that's what patches are for, to make those things balanced and to make those things more finely tuned. We just want those features right now, something that's going to really make us really enjoy the game. And maybe they are working on that kind of stuff, but maybe we just haven't seen it yet in the beta. But who knows? All I know is this patch was kind of a letdown. but at the same time, you know, I am happy that they're making changes to the game and fixing this and that. Like we all knew they really would, but you know, that's just my opinion about everything, guys. I'm looking forward to playing Reaper of Souls. I don't want anybody to think, oh, he's not going to play, he's not going to play. I'm definitely going to play the game, but I just want to I want to really throw myself into the game and, you know, feel like every day I'm progressing towards something, whether it's ranking up in this or that, or gearing out, or being the best geared player in this, or doing whatever. That's just me. I always want to feel like I have a greater goal and a bigger progression behind the things that I'm doing in the game that I'm playing. That's how I've been for my entire life playing video games. And I think we're in 2014 now. The technology is amazing. Blizzard has so many people behind their company. I feel like there's no excuse why these things couldn't get done. But anyways, those are just some of my opinions, guys. Thanks for watching. I'm Shinobi. Until next time, I'll see you later.